the national anthem now.
As a young citizen of India, armed with technology, knowledge, and love for my nation, I realize small aim is a crime.
I will work and sweat for a great vision, the vision of transforming India into a developed nation, powered by economic strength and the value system.
I am one of the citizens of a billion. Only the vision will ignite the billion souls.
It has entered into me, the ignited soul, compared to any resource, is the most powerful resource, on the earth, above the earth, and under the earth. I will keep the lamp of knowledge burning to achieve the vision, developed India.
Honorable Chancellor, sir, I have the honor to request you to declare the 19th annual convocation open.
I declare the convocation open. This convocation of the Nalsar University of Law, Hyderabad, has been called to confer the degrees and diplomas upon the candidates who in the examinations held for the purpose have been certified to be worthy of the same.
Now let me present. Thank you, sir. Let me present the university report. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome Honorable Dr. Justice D.Y. Chandrachud, sir, to the 19th convocation. I also welcome Honorable Justice Ram Subramanian, Honorable Mr. Justice P.S. Narasimha, and Madam Satyaprabha. I welcome our beloved Chancellor, Honorable Mr. Justice Ujjal Buyan, sir, and Madam Sangamitra Das Buyan. I welcome Honorable Mr. Justice Kadri, Honorable Mr. Justice P.V. Reddy, and Professor Ranbir Singh, founding Vice Chancellor of Nalsar. They are the founding fathers of this university. I also welcome Sri Manan Kumar Mishra, Chairman Bar Council of India. I welcome the Honorable Sitting Judges of Telangana High Court, former Judges of the Supreme Court and High Court, distinguished members of the General Council, Executive Council, Academic Council, Sri Apurva Kumar Sharma, Bar Council of India, members of Telangana State Bar Council, senior advocates, esteemed guests from High Court, state government officials, faculty member, staff, graduating students, their parents, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen. It's my honor to welcome all of you to the 19th convocation. This also happens to be the auspicious time in the history of Nalsar, as we will soon be completing 25 years. The convocation marks the beginning of our Silver Jubilee celebrations, which will include several other academic, social, and cultural activities in the coming few months. We are grateful to Honorable Chief Justice of India, Dr. D.Y. Chandrachud, who readily agreed to deliver the convocation address this year. Chief Justice Chandrachud, we all know, is widely known for his erudition and scholarship, having delivered several important verdicts. These verdicts of Chief Justice serve as exemplars of legal writing and scholarship, and for teachers, it is like a teaching tools in understanding law and its interpretation. We are looking forward to listening to the convocation address. Legal education today is interdisciplinary, interprofessional, and international. We orient students through an analytical and critical lens grounded in interdisciplinary inquiry. Our 5-year integrated BA LLB honors program offers diverse basket of optional courses, electives, seminar, and clinical courses. Similarly, the management program also builds strong and viable business in the light of regulatory climate. We would like to develop more synergies between law and management programs in future. Going forward, we are also exploring the possibility of initiating more full-time programs after having made the necessary investments in faculty hiring and developing the necessary infrastructure. The LLM and PhD programs are very intensive and offers very wide range of courses to widen the horizons and maximize learning. The Student Bar Council, SBC, through the Social Responsibility and Student Welfare Committee and the Academic Committee runs a mentorship program for first-year students to navigate through the law school. The significant developments in this year include completing the construction of 2 new hostel blocks, expansion of dining hall and dedicated classrooms for distance education programs. The health center was just inaugurated today. We have technologically upgraded 15 classrooms for hybrid instruction. We are especially grateful to Justice BP Jeevan Reddy, who gave a generous contribution to support the International Trade and Business Law Center. Dr. P.S. Rao, who has previously worked in the Legal Entities Division of the Ministry of External Affairs and who also served in the International Law Commission, joined the university as a chair professor. We encourage the teachers to publish in international peer-reviewed journals. This year, 9 teachers were given the research incentive. IPR chair hosted a number of workshops this year to promote awareness and intellectual property rights. We recently hosted a national seminar on forensic science in collaboration with Truth Labs. We will be hosting Courts and the Constitution, which is one of the very important, significant seminar every year Nalsar is organizing. This year, Courts and the Constitution will be organized in March this year, which will be inaugurated by Honorable Mr. Justice Ravindra Bhatt. We signed recently MOUs with Indian Institute of Corporate Affairs, National Police Academy, International Arbitration and Mediation Center, ICRISAT. We are also in the process of exploring more partnership with foreign universities. Now let me share notable achievements of our alumni and students. Several of our alumni are now doing very well in litigation, law firms, academia, civil service, and other walks of life. We hope to involve a substantial number of our alumni in our academic and extension activities. We would like to establish a standing committee of Nalsar alumni for more constant dialogue and interactions. I am happy to share that a team of the Nalsar became the first Indian team to win the ICC International Commercial Mediation Competition held in Paris this February. Another team from Nalsar recently won the South Asia rounds of Munro E. Price Media Law Moot Court competition and will now proceed to the international rounds. Both of our law and management students have done well in spectrum of competitions ranging from policy to business planning and case studies. We seek to expand our horizons into being a multidisciplinary institution, and we have already started exploring steps towards it by starting the Department of Management Studies in order to build a center of excellence of multidisciplinary education with a focus on legal skills. We would need great expansion of our infrastructure, physical, digital, and intellectual infrastructure, for which we look forward to the ever-present support of the Telangana government. I must acknowledge and place on record the Chief Minister, Sri K. Chandrasekhar Rao, and the state government support in the building of the infrastructure of Nalsar. As I mentioned earlier, our first priority is to expand faculty strength to meet the growing needs. We have plans to engage several experienced scholars to join the university as chair professors and research consultants. My dear students, we have gathered here today for the award of degrees and diplomas to the students who completed their studies in 2022. Let me congratulate the graduating students and their family members. Remember the golden rule of life memorably observed by Sudha Murthy, a well-known writer, engineer, and philanthropist. Sudha Murthy said, "We can give our children only 2 things in life, strong roots and powerful wings. Then they may fly anywhere and live independently. It is true in case of all of you. The law degree gives you the power to fly with strong roots of knowledge, skills, and peace of mind in life, which is more important. This is more important than money, status, and privilege. Don't go after money. Work hard. Be a good lawyer, teacher, policy maker, social worker, above all, a good human being. Lastly, I have the few words to the outgoing batch. Welcome to the 2,000 strong Nalsar Alumni Network. As we continue our efforts to create a stronger alumni association, I hope for continued support from you in form of mentorship of students, sharing of professional expertise, and participation in university events. I hope the professional relationships you develop here in the university will continue beyond our campus and will be beneficial to you in your future. We look forward to staying in touch and following your progress in your individual journeys. Thank you. Jai Hind. You can stay.
Let the candidates for the degrees and diplomas stand forward. Do you sincerely promise and declare that if admitted to the degree or diploma for which you are candidates and for which you have been recommended, you will in your daily life and conversation conduct yourselves as worthy members of this university? Let the candidates be now presented.
Sir, I have the honor to present to you the candidates for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, PhD, whose names are set out in the list. They have been found qualified for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, PhD, to which I pray they may be admitted. Candidates taking the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, PhD, will please stand forward. PhD, yes. Yes. Yes.
By virtue of the authority vested in me as the Chancellor of Nalsar University of Law, Hyderabad, I admit you to the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, PhD, in this university.
The candidates for award of PhD degree in person, Sachin Sharma, Bigya Patnaik,
Congrats, Sachin.
Naini Singh, Arnol Unni, Vanaja D.
Take this, Vanaja. Congratulations. Sir, I have the honor to present to you the candidates for the degree of Master of Laws, LLM, whose names are set out in the list. They have been found qualified for the degree of Master of Laws, LLM, to which I pray they may be admitted. Candidates taking the degree of Master of Laws in person will please stand forward.
Should I say? By virtue of the authority vested in me as the Chancellor of Nalsar University of Law, Hyderabad, I admit you, as also the students in absentia, to the degree of Master of Laws, LLM, in this university.
The candidates for award of LLM degree in person, Anchal. Anchal, please walk forward. Abhishek. Abhishek Singh. Airavati, Ajit, Sandeep, Anisha, Anisha Mishra, Anurag, Aparna, Aditi, Alekhya, Basdev, Bhumika, Chavan, Subramanyam, first father.
Family members have come.
Dish, Naini, Mahita,
Congratulations.
Fatima, Garima,
Congratulations.
Tejasvi, Gunjan, Hama, Himadri, Kirtana, Sharin, Kirpan, Janvi, Kuldeep, Sanjay, Arnab, Nandini, Niharika, Ravali, Ritika, Rupali, Rupshika, Sakshi, Manisha, Sanya, Sara, Hashimi, Shivanshika, Shubham, Suharshita, Shweta, Archana, Sohini, Sufyan, Swati, Rudra, Shrikant, Vagisa, Sharing, Narayana. In addition, 17 candidates are awarded the degree of LLM in absentia.
Sir, I have the honor to present to you the candidates for the degree of MBA whose names are set out in the list. They have been found qualified for the degree of MBA to which I be admitted. Candidates taking the degree of MBA in person will please stand forward.
By virtue of the authority vested in me as the Chancellor of Nalsar University of Law, Hyderabad, I admit you as also the candidates in absentia to the degree of MBA in this university.
The candidates for award of MBA degree in person, Srilekha, Siddharth, Harshita, Dikshita, Sudesh, Roshni, Yashaswini, Jahnavi, Bhavani, Harshita, Pavitra, Meghna, Shashank, Ajay, Sahitya, Abhiraghav, Prashant, Akhila, Soumya, Meghana, Shruti, Bhargavi, Ravina, Roshni, Shanti, Suraj, Shweta, Chakrapani. In addition, 2 candidates are awarded the degree of MBA in absentia.
Sir, I have the honor to present to you candidates for the degree of MA Aviation Law and Air Transport Management, whose names are set out in the list. They have been found qualified for the degree of MA Aviation Law and Air Transport Management, to which I pray they may be admitted. Candidates taking the degree of MA Aviation Law and Air Transport Management in person will please stand forward.
By virtue of the authority vested in me as the Chancellor, Nalsar University of Law, Hyderabad, I admit you as also the candidates in absentia to the degree of ME, Aviation Law and Air Transport Management in this university.
The candidates for award of MA Aviation Law and Air Transport Management degree in person: Ritu, Dineshan, Jahnavi, Shriya, Himanshu, Parikshit, Arvind, Deepak, Karuna, Muskan, Siddharth, Akshara, Pranjal, Abhay, Shivam, Sanket, Poonam, Akshi, Prakasha, Gurpreet, Sridhar, Nidhi, Srinivasa, Ajit, Wahid, Ankit, Isaac. In addition, 53 candidates are awarded the MA Aviation Law and Air Transport Management degree in absentia.
Sir, I have the honor to present to you the candidates for the degree of MA Security and Defense Laws, whose names are set out in the list. They have been found qualified for the degree of MA Security and Defense Laws, to which I pray they may be admitted. Candidates taking the degree of MA in person will please stand forward.
By virtue of the authority vested in me as the Chancellor, Nalsar University of Law, Hyderabad, I admit you as also the candidates in absentia to the degree of MA Security and Defense Laws in this university.
Candidates for award of MA Security and Defense Law degree in person: Devsmita, Navasatya, Shashank, Sandeep, Subrata, Raju, Nagesh, Ranganathan, Gaurav, Jilling. In addition, 15 candidates are awarded MA Security and Defence Law degree in absentia. MA Security and Special Law? Wait, okay.
Sir, I have the honor to present to you now the candidates for the degree of MA Space and Telecommunication Laws whose names are set out in the list. They have been found qualified for the degree of MA Space and Telecommunication Laws, to which I pray they may be admitted. Candidates taking the degree of MA Space and Telecommunication Laws in person will please stand forward.
By virtue of the authority vested in me as the Chancellor, Nalsar University of Law, Hyderabad, I admit you as also the candidates in absentia to the degree of MA Space and Telecommunication Laws in this university.
Candidates for award of MS Space and Telecommunication Laws degree in person. Amar, Saurabh, Samriddhi, Chakrapani, Robin, Sindhu, Unnikrishnan, Prasad, Neetu. In addition, 9 candidates are awarded MS Space and Telecommunication Laws degree in absentia.
Now comes the much awaited degrees BA LLB Honors, Bachelor of Arts, Law and Honors. Sir, I have the honor to present to you the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Arts and Laws Honors, BA LLB Honors, whose names are set out in the list. They have been found qualified for the degree of Bachelor of Arts and Laws Honors, BA LLB Honors, to which I pray they may be admitted. The candidates taking the degree of BA LLB Honors in person will please stand forward.
By virtue of the authority vested in me as the Chancellor, Nalsar University of Law, Hyderabad, I admit you as also the candidates in absentia to the degree of Bachelor of Arts and Laws Honors, BA LLB Honors in this university.
Candidates for award of BA LLB Honors degree in person. Anirudh, Ankush, Ankush Roy, Anupriya, Apeksha, Apur, Aratrika, Archita, Ayush, Rishik, Sundarshan, Bhavisha, Abhishek, Charita, Ishan, Gayatri, Geetika, Harshvardhan, Jahnavi, Chandil, Anand, Vijayaditya, Manaswin, Manjari, Mohini, Nirupan, Nishta, Vaibhav, Pooja, Prakshal, Pranshu, Prashasti, Prerna, Kavipriyan, Pratik, Riya, Rupam, Ritvik, Apurva, Shrestha, Sajal, Sankalp, Shreya, Sisit, Shreya, Sumer, Tilak, Unnayan, Utkarsh, Vedat, Achman, Abhijit, Abhishek, Anik, Anirudh, Ankita, Anu, Dheeraj, Archit, Aryan, Ashish, Ayush, Srinidhi, Dhanishta, Chandana, Anshul, Gayatri, Harshvardhan, Rishikesh, Jonathan, Kanu, Kirti, Kushbu, Krishna, Kritika, Sri Chetna, Madhura, Nikhil, Pooja, Pratik, Ramchandran, Ritika, going fast. Roshni, Rudraksh, Shriram, Sachin, Sagar, Seher, Riddhi, Shaurya, Shubhankar, Simran, Shrikar, Srishti, Tanvi, Priya Susan, Sahiti, Vinayak, Vishal, Ramasai, Yashvardhan, Rajat, Nihal, Pushpesh, Priya. Pooja. Charit. Rahul. Shyam. Shivam. Soumya. In addition, 17 candidates are awarded BA LLB Honours degree in absentia.
Sir, I have the honor to present to you the candidates for the postgraduate diploma, advanced diploma in patents laws, cyber laws, media laws, international humanitarian law, alternative dispute resolution, family dispute resolution, animal protection laws, drafting, negotiation and enforcement of contracts, aviation law, and air transport management, maritime laws, financial services and legislations, GIS and remote sensing laws, criminal law and forensic science, corporate taxation, cyber security and data protection laws, and industrial security, law and management, whose names are set out in the list. They have been found qualified for the respective postgraduate diploma, advanced diploma, to which I pray they may be admitted.
By virtue of the authority vested in me as the Chancellor, Nalsar University of Law, Hyderabad, I admit the candidates in absentia to the postgraduate diploma, advanced diploma in patents law, cyber laws, media laws, international humanitarian law, alternative dispute resolution, family dispute resolution, animal protection laws, drafting, negotiation and enforcement of contracts, aviation law and air transport management, maritime laws, financial services and legislations, GIS and remote sensing laws, criminal law and forensic science, corporate taxation, cyber security and data protection laws, and industrial security, law and management in this university.
185 candidates are awarded postgraduate diploma and 699 candidates are awarded advanced diploma in absentia.
Now I have the honor to invite Honorable Chief Justice of India, Dr. Justice D.V. Chandrachud sir, to request you to, sir, kindly launch the Silver Jubilee celebrations and deliver the Silver Jubilee lecture cum convocation address.
Press this button, sir. Sign this.
Yes, yes.
the Chancellor of Nalsar, and the distinguished Chief Justice, Justice Bhuyan, my very distinguished colleagues, Justice V. Ramasubramaniam and Justice P.S. Narasimha, the Vice Chancellor, former Vice Chancellor, Chairperson of the Bar Council of India, distinguished members of the faculty, graduating students, and their families and friends. Right from the moment that I entered the campus this morning, I could sense a feeling of joy among everyone present today. I know that this joy is not only about your own graduation, but it's also about sharing the combined achievements of your classmates and of reliving the memories of your campus life as you reconnect with the faculty and the staff of the university. Dear students, as you are at the cusp of your legal career, I cannot help but feel a sense of nostalgia for my own law school graduation. Years ago, I too sat like you sit today, eager to embark on a life of service to the law and to the people whom the law serves. In convocation addresses, it is generally expected that the visiting speaker shares words of wisdom with the graduating students. But I belong to a different school of thought, perhaps radical. I believe that students gather their own wisdom while embarking upon their journey in law school and later in their careers. Hence, I will share a few of my own thoughts today, only with the intention that they may benefit the younger ones in shaping their own journey. I may have spent a few more seasons, which is reflected in the growing gray hair on my hair, concealed today by the convocation cap. But I do believe that you have something which I didn't have at my command when I was at your stage of life, which is access to information and knowledge, which technology has brought you. But what do you say on an occasion like this? And I thought I'd begin with a little couplet from Mirza Ghalib, which I was reading on the aircraft on my way to Hyderabad yesterday. And he says, "Chalta hoon thodi dur har ek tez raw ke saath, chalta hoon thodi dur har ek tez raw ke saath, pehchanta nahi hoon abhi rahabar ko main." What does that mean? He says, I go along some distance with every swift walker. I go along some distance with every swift walker, but I do not yet recognize the guide. So I have, over the last several decades of my work in the profession, walked with so many swift walkers, but I am still in the process of locating the guide. As you chart a new course of your life, do remember everyone who directly and indirectly contributed to your journey. While we think of universities, we generally think of the faculty and the students. But a university also runs because of the labor of the support staff and the workers. Your own life in hostels was made easy because of the labor of the help staff. We must also acknowledge their labor in building an institution like a university which celebrates 25 years of its existence. This shall be the true meaning of dignity, which the Supreme Court has recognized as a facet of the right to life under Article 21 of the Constitution. in an era of Avengers and Marvel DC movies, I may be, I may be lagging behind in popular pop culture. However, I've always believed that movies or any art form have a significant impact on our thinking. Sometimes a line in a book might remain in our mind throughout our lives. So as you graduate, do not let your creative side fade away. In our profession, creativity has led to landmark constitutional judgments. Your life as a lawyer is also enriched by your own explorations outside the law. In my own life, I made it a habit to read literature other than law textbooks, and I can share that it has helped me in my career, firstly as a lawyer and then as a judge. As a Chief Justice, I often revert to what Atticus Finch, the protagonist in Harper Lee's classic To Kill a Mockingbird, said, and I quote him, "But there is one way in this country in which all men are created equal. There is one human institution that makes a pauper the equal of a Rockefeller, the stupid man the equal of an Einstein, and the ignorant man the equal of any college president. That institution, gentlemen, is a court. Our courts have their faults, as does any human institution. But in this country, our courts are the great levelers, and in our courts, all men are created equal." Justice Elena Kagan, a judge of the United States Supreme Court, once quoted a line from the movie Spider-Man in her judgment, which goes like, "In this world with great power, there must also come great responsibility." Thus, while your graduation brings a feat of happiness and joy, there must also be a realization of self-responsibility, that wherever you go, you strive towards healing the world and the lives of the people around you. Nalsar is celebrating its silver jubilee. It is an achievement for the institution to have shaped the lives of so many students over the years. I congratulate the leadership of the university for this impressive achievement. Institutions of every kind play a crucial role in society. Running a university is about shaping the future of the country as we train young minds. The Silver Jubilee moment also gives us a chance to reflect on the larger issues concerning our higher education institutions. There may be many issues in terms of policy decision-making on higher education, but I wish to reflect on the state of higher education from a philosophical perspective, from the lens of empathy. I have chosen this lens because I believe that empathy is an essential ingredient in the law, and it is what separates a just society from an unjust one. It is a critical component of justice and facilitates in promoting a compassionate view of justice. For instance, the Supreme Court deals with a large number of cases arising out of motor accidents claims. The judges often look at the human side of the case through a lens of empathy while balancing the technical requirements. In that sense, empathy is not a luxury, but a necessity. Empathy can help break down barriers towards justice. That is why we must also understand education through the lens of empathy. In our educational institutions today, we tend to focus a lot on excellence. We are taught that our lives can be better only if we excel in our studies or in our professional life. However, education can only be complete if we nurture the values of empathy and compassion. Our educational institutions must not limit themselves to promoting competition among students, but also shape their outlook towards life, where empathy is a crucial component and element. Excellence in life cannot go without empathy. Lack of empathy in educational institutions has adverse effects on students. I have been emphasizing on the mental health of lawyers, but equally important is the mental health of students. Not only must our educational curriculum inculcate a sense of compassion among students, but the academic leaders must also be sensitive to the concerns of students. When students leave their home, it becomes the responsibility of educational institutions to establish a bond of institutional friendship with students. We must also realize that different students face different challenges. Only recently, I read about the suicide of a Dalit student at IIT Mumbai, IIT Bombay. It reminded me about the suicide of an Adivasi student in National Law University, Odisha last year. My heart goes out to the family members of these students. But I have also been wondering where our institutions are going wrong, that the students are forced to give up their precious lives in these instances. Incidents of suicide of students from marginalized communities are becoming common. These numbers are not just statistics. They are stories sometimes of centuries of struggle. I believe that if we wish to address this issue, the first step is to acknowledge and recognize the problem. Professor Sukhdev Thorat, one of our senior educationists in the country, has noted that if almost all those who have died by suicide, in particularly situations like Dalits and Adivasis, then it shows a pattern which we must question. In our journey of 75 years since independence, we have been focused on creating institutions of eminence. But more than that, we need institutions of empathy, a term I read in a news article. Some of you may be wondering why the Chief Justice of India is speaking on this issue. Well, because I think the issue of discrimination is directly linked with the lack of empathy in educational institutions. Furthermore, judges cannot shy away from social realities. Instances of judicial dialogues are common across the globe. When the Black Lives Matter movement emerged in the United States after the murder of George Floyd, all 9 judges on the Washington Supreme Court, the highest court in the state of Washington in the United States, released a joint statement addressed to the judiciary and the legal community on the degradation and devaluation of black lives in the United States. Harvard Law School professor Michael Klarman notes that history tends to forget the equally groundbreaking work that several civil rights lawyers did outside the courtroom in educating the black community about their rights under the Constitution. In similar ways, judges in India have a crucial role in making a dialogue with the society inside and outside the courtrooms to push for social change. As Chief Justice, apart from my core judicial work, which I take very seriously, and administrative duties, my effort is also to throw light on the structural issues which confront our society. Therefore, promoting empathy must be the first step which education institutions ought to take. Nurturing empathy can end the culture of eliteness and exclusion. This can be done by starting with small steps, allotment of hostels based on entrance marks, which leads to caste-based segregation, putting out a public list of marks along with social categories, asking for the marks of Dalit and Adivasi students publicly to humiliate them, making a mockery of their English and physical appearances, stigmatizing them as inefficient, not acting on incidents of abuse and bullying, not providing a support system, or reducing or stopping their fellowships, normalizing stereotypes through jokes are some of the basic things which every educational institution must stop. In other words, practicing empathy is not just a personal attribute, but it requires institutional change. Institutional change in every walk of life, within and outside the judiciary, including in our educational institutions. In that sense, I believe that empathy can allow us to reflect on the state of legal education in a much broader way. When we approach the law with empathy, we recognize that the people who come before us in the legal system are not just names on a docket or numbers in a statistic. They are real people with real lives and real struggles of life. We understand that their circumstances and experiences may be different from our own, and we try to see the world from their perspective and eyes. That such an understanding should be at the foundation of legal education was the idea behind the creation of national law universities. It was to promote an interdisciplinary learning based on a clinical education model which would allow human interaction with the study of law. To what extent we have succeeded is the foremost question today. In my view, the experiment with NLUs was to create accessible institutions focused on quality legal education and not to create elite institutions. However, the NLUs have been struggling to be accessible to a wide section of society. Concerns are continuously raised about the entrance exam pattern of NLUs, which acts as an access barrier for students not well acquainted with English. Furthermore, any efforts taken in revitalizing the entrance examination would be futile if the internal structures in law universities are not conducive for students coming from non-metropolitan or marginalized backgrounds. Along with this, the financial barriers are also serious. The law universities and governments need to work together to ensure financial accessibility. I would also take the opportunity to highlight that the idea behind the creation of NLUs was not to leave behind traditional law universities or central universities. A majority of judges on the bench, including the bench of the Supreme Court, are a product of what we now think of as traditional universities. Therefore, the outlook of legal education must be to improve the quality of law colleges across the country and not just a few institutions. The sense of entitlement that NLUs are better than other institutions leads to unnecessary wastage of energy. Instead, NLUs should be the leaders in the field of legal education, which could help other smaller law colleges grow academically. NLUs ought not to work in a field of isolation. Law students studying in LLUs must not look down upon their counterparts from other law schools. After all, the legal profession is such that we are constantly learning and teaching each other. The clinical legal model of education would be realized only when we are able to involve law students directly with the legal aid services. In other countries, law students guided by clinical faculty work on real-life cases. This not only provides exposure, but also inculcates a sense of responsibility among them. Our law schools also need to think in this way. Academic leaders, bar council representatives, and members of the bar and judiciary need to sit together and reflect on the state of clinical legal education in India. It is by reshaping our legal education model that we will be able to make empathy a core value of our legal system. We must work to address the structural inequalities that are built into our legal system and to create a system that truly reflects our shared values of justice. I'm aware of the fact that a fresh law graduate stepping into the profession faces many challenges, from getting into the chambers of good offices, the tendency of established lawyers and law officers to pay off meager salaries, even lower than the minimum wages, extremely high fees for registration for state bar councils, to name a few. If we as a legal profession have to grow, we have to change our approach. We would have to move past the mindset that we are reaping as we had sowed. That is, justifying earlier practices as the norms for the future. I was the first of the emergency batches for the BA Economics degree at St. Stephen's College in Delhi University. And when we were ragged, it was as if that we would pass the baton of ragging when it came to be our time to be seniors. But that is really a very poor model for legal education. We must ensure that the practice of law is done in a fair and equitable manner, without regard to a person's race, caste, gender, religion, disability, or sexual orientation. In the context which I have just narrated, my tenure as Chief Justice has focused on improving accessibility in legal education and the profession. The Supreme Court has now launched an e-version of the Supreme Court reports, the ESCR, which allows everyone to freely access around 34,000 reportable judgments of the Supreme Court from 1950 to from 2023. As a result, young graduates like you will not have to spend a penny on accessing judgments and doing research as they join the profession. The court started live streaming and hybrid court hearings, which allows any lawyer to argue a case sitting anywhere in the country. This has addressed the concern that only a few lawyers were able to reach the Supreme Court. During the pandemic, a number of women lawyers were able to actively participate in court proceedings. In one such court proceeding, as we were hearing a young woman lawyer, there was a voice of a baby which straggled across the stream. The young lawyer was very apologetic when she said, "I'm so sorry for this disruption." So I said, this shows us truly that we are an inclusive profession. And this is not something which judges should grudge, because this is our effort to ensure that young women who fulfill multifold roles in society are able to access the profession on an equal platform. I'm stressing on the increasing use of technology to not only increase access to justice, but also to take it as an opportunity to make the judicial system an epitome of transparency. With this goal in mind, most recently, we have started auto-transcription of court proceedings by employing artificial intelligence, AI, and high-tech tools. By doing this, our court can become the court of record in its fullest sense. The record of conversations between the bench and the bar shall act as an important medium of education, where students can learn about the art of arguing and what type of questions to expect from the bench. In that way, legal education can become more practice-oriented. But let me make things very, very clear. Just as the Supreme Court, and I believe all high courts, become high-tech, the purpose of our going high-tech is not to set us apart from the community. The purpose of technology is to ensure that our work continues as it always has been, at the center stage of society, deeply associated and cognizant of real life of our citizens on a day-to-day basis. I've also been emphasizing upon diversity and inclusion. Recently, I approved in principle a proposal sent by the National Commission for Scheduled Tribes to have 36 law graduates from the scheduled tribe community come and work at the Supreme Court of India as fellows and get first-hand experiences in the working of the Supreme Court. These students, whom we mentor today, shall become successful lawyers and judges of the future. Furthermore, to ensure that technological developments in courts do not leave behind persons with disabilities, I have constituted a committee on accessibility, which is headed by Justice Ravindra Bhatt, and is doing an accessibility audit of the Supreme Court premises and functioning. Based on their report, we will be making efforts to ensure that courts become disabled friendly. However, before I leave, I wish to highlight that while the Supreme Court initially adopted technological infrastructure to meet the challenges of the pandemic, the same is being retained and developed further to ensure that everyone is now able to access the court from any part of the country and without any difficulty. I do believe that the Supreme Court of India is not the Supreme Court of Tilak Marg, Delhi, but it truly is a court for the nation. I believe that our legal education must also be evolved in the same way. That is to say, while online education during the pandemic provided us with the opportunity to easily interact with researchers and scholars across the globe, it also raised concerns about the inaccessibility of students from rural or marginalized backgrounds. Thus, the evolution of online hybrid infrastructure must be done in such a way so as to ensure that the marginalized and the underprivileged are not left behind in our endeavors. We can now see a number of YouTube channels producing videos on legal concepts in a simplified form. The YouTube is the new world of opportunity in the law as elsewhere. The number of views on these videos indicates the level of curiosity which our citizens have towards legal discourse, and it is our job to make our citizens aware about the law. Therefore, I think technology can allow us to take legal education to a mass level, so that law does not remain a field or profession of the elites. Teaching or study resources can be made available online publicly to students, even if that student is not enrolled in the law school. This can encourage quality learning everywhere. And therefore, I would beseech Nalsar, as indeed all the other national law schools, to ensure that the videos of the kind of quality legal education which you provide to your own students do not become a shared monopoly of your students alone, but are disseminated across the nation, so that education in that sense becomes a sort of democratization and the breaking down of feudal and patriarchal structures in our society. It is my sincere belief that with collective efforts, we shall be able to change the approach of legal education and the legal profession. We must use the law to create a society that is truly just, where everyone is treated with dignity and respect, and where everyone has the opportunity to thrive. We must work together to shape the law in a way that reflects our shared value of fairness, equality, and justice. Dear students, as you experiment with law after your graduation, do it with a sense of compassion. I began a short while ago by quoting Mirza Ghalib. Let me end with a little couplet from Mirza Ghalib, which I constantly remind myself, because much as you take your work seriously, it is sometimes important not to take yourself very seriously as well. So what does Ghalib say? Ghalib says, बनाकर फकीरों का हम बेस गालिब तमाशा ए अहल ए करम देखते हैं. So he says, having put on the guise of fakirs, Ghalib, we observe the spectacle of the generous amongst us. So it's important, as you get on with the work of life, in your work as legal professions, to have time to step back, to have time to introspect, when you wear or don the robe of a fakir, Ghalib is not just referring to the physical robe which you wear, it's the mental robe which you wear. Because it is important to wear the mental robe disassociated with all the expectations which society casts upon you. Society will tell you that this is the way a lawyer should behave, this is the way a judge should behave, this is the way a woman should behave, this is the way men behave. Please remember to cast away those robes, if only to realize your true self within. As you go forward, your journey, as Paulo Coelho said, your journey is as important as your goal, because it is in your journey that you will aspire to realize the true self which lies within. So from here on, in every which way, if you would give 2 minutes of time to reflect on what this graying and aging Chief Justice told you, try and realize your own self in the mission of your lives ahead. Thank you very much. God bless.
I now request our Chief Guest, Honorable Dr. Justice Dhananjay Y. Chandrachud, Chief Justice of India, to award the gold medals to LLM students Vagisa, Nani A. Palkiwala Memorial Gold Medal for topper in LLM, endowed by Nani A. Palkiwala Memorial Trust. Shrikant Devarapalli. Shrikant Devarapalli, M.L. Ramakrishna Rao Memorial Gold Medal for topper among male students in LLM, endowed by M.R. Harsha Advocate. Vish Kusia and Pratik Parasar Samra, both are sharing the medal. Musnuri Venkatramaya Memorial Gold Medal for topper in research methods and legal writing, endowed by Musnuru Development Foundation. Pratik is taking the gold medal in absentia. The MBA candidates, P. Bhargavi, University Medal for standing first in MBA. MA Aviation Law and Air Transport Management, Patil Abhay Anand. Mupur Sundarramaya Memorial Gold Medal for topper in MA Aviation Law, endowed by Mupur Prasad. BA LLB honors, please. Kanvi Apte, she is receiving 11 gold medals. Pavani Sarveshwar Rao Memorial Gold Medal for Best Student in Law of Contracts, endowed by P.P. Rao, Senior Advocate, Supreme Court of India. Justice U.C. Banerjee Memorial Gold Medal for Most Outstanding Student of the Batch, endowed by Amitesh Banerjee. C.V. Subramanya Shastri Memorial Gold Medal for topper in Constitutional Law, endowed by Justice C.V.N. Shastri. Ananta Narasimha Reddy Gold Medal for topper in Constitutional Law, endowed by A. Narasimha Reddy, Chairman Bar Council of Telangana. Justice P. Jagannath Reddy Memorial Gold Medal for topper among girl students in Constitutional Law, endowed by Dr. Urmila and Dr. Jairam Chandar Pingili. Justice Syed Shah Ahmed Qadri Gold Medal for topper in Constitutional Law, endowed by Justice S.S.M. Qadri, former Judge, Supreme Court of India. Gati Academy Gold Medal for topper in Political Science and International Relations, endowed by Gati Limited. Ramdev Gupta Memorial Gold Medal for topper in family law, endowed by Sakam Devi. Chimalakonda Dikshitulu Centenary Gold Medal for topper in international law, endowed by C.M. Babu and family members. Ratna Reddy and Justice B. Subhashan Reddy Gold Medal for topper in transfer of property and law of contracts, endowed by Justice B. Vijay Sen Reddy, Judge, Telangana High Court. S.B. Pandey Memorial Gold Medal for topper in law of evidence and law of contracts, endowed by Nirmal Kumar Pandey and family members. Manjari Singh. She is receiving 10 medals. Y.V. Venkateshwar Rao Memorial Gold Medal for topper in law and economics, endowed by Dr. Rai Vijayanand. Pavani Sesaya Memorial Gold Medal for overall excellence, endowed by P.P. Rao, Senior Advocate, Supreme Court. Rakesh Kumar Agarwal Memorial Gold Medal for topper in annual exam, endowed by Bharji Agarwal, Senior Advocate. Raj Bahadur Naurang Rai Khaitan Memorial Gold Medal for topper in final exam, endowed by Suman J. Khaitan. A.P. Ganguly Gold Medal for topper in administrative law, endowed by A.K. Ganguly, Senior Advocate, Supreme Court. Hindustan Times Limited Gold Medal for topper in labor law. Purnaya Gold Medal for the best student in CPC and law of limitation, endowed by Justice N. Ram Mohan Rao, Judge, High Court of AP. Ashitendra Nath Mitra Memorial Gold Medal for best student in law of contracts, endowed by Anindya Kumar Mitra. The ICADR Gold Medal for topper in arbitration and ethics clinic. Sati Satyanarayan Reddy Memorial Gold Medal for topper in arbitration and ethics clinic, endowed by Sri S. Venkat Reddy, former Advocate General of AP High Court. Thank you, sir. Thank you for giving the medals. I now request Honorable Justice Sri V. Ramasubramanian, Judge, Supreme Court of India, to award the gold medals. To Archman Shekhar, who is receiving 4 medals. Ratwal Junjunwala Gold Medal for Best All-Round Male Student, endowed by R.M. Junjunwala, Kaitan and Company. Amancherla Krishnamurthy Memorial Gold Medal for Best All-Round Student of Final Year, endowed by A. Narsimhamurthy, Advocate. Musnuri Venkatramaya Memorial Gold Medal for Topper in Intellectual Property Law, endowed by Musnuri Development Foundation. Sitaram Junjunwala Gold Medal for Topper in Intellectual Property Law, endowed by R.M. Junjunwala, Kaitan and Company. Bhavisha Sharma. She is receiving 4 medals. Pavani Satyanarayanamma Memorial Gold Medal to Best Female Student for Overall Excellence, endowed by P.P. Rao, Senior Advocate, Supreme Court. Istri Banerjee Memorial Gold Medal for Topper among Girl Students in Company Law, endowed by Amitesh Banerjee. Sharda Bai Gold Medal for Topper in Property Laws, endowed by Justice B. Prakash Rao, former Judge, High Court of AP. M. Rajendra Nath Gold Medal for Topper in Law of Torts, endowed by Rajendra Reddy, Advocate. Chandil Kumar, he is receiving 3 medals. Biologically Limited Gold Medal for Topper in Environment Law, endowed by Dr. Vijay Kumar Datla, Chairman, Biologically Limited. Professor S.P. Chatterjee Memorial Gold Medal for Topper in Environment Law, endowed by Indrani Bhattacharya. Deepak Negi Memorial Gold Medal for Topper in Banking and Finance, endowed by Sheetal Negi. Thank you, sir. Thank you for giving the medals. I now request Honorable Sri Justice P.S. Narasimha, Judge, Supreme Court of India, to award the gold medals. To Dharavat Chandana, she will be receiving 3 medals. N. Savitri Memorial Gold Medal for Topper in Criminal Law, endowed by N. Ramchandra Rao, MLC and former member, Bar Council of India. Dr. K.P.C. Gandhi Gold Medal for Best Student in Criminal Law, endowed by Dr. K.P.C. Gandhi, former Inspector General of Police. Y.V.V. Satyanarayana Murthy Memorial Gold Medal for Topper in Criminal Law and Law of Evidence, endowed by Manojna Yeluri. Gayatri Gupta, 2 medals. Lakshmi Devi Junjunwala Gold Medal for Best All-Round Female Student, endowed by R.M. Junjunwala, Khaitan and Company. P.D. Agarwal Memorial Gold Medal for Topper in Law and Poverty, endowed by Mahendra Agarwal. Ashish K. James. M. Chandrasekhar Rao Gold Medal for topper in Constitutional Law 2, endowed by M. Chandrasekhar Rao, Advocate Telangana High Court. Y. Surya Narayana Memorial Gold Medal for topper in Constitutional Law 2, endowed by Justice N. Ram Mohan Rao, former Judge, High Court. Thank you, sir. Thank you for giving the medals. I now request our Chancellor, Honorable Sri Justice Ujjwal Bhuyan, to award the gold medals to Harshvardhan Tripathi, My Home Cement Industries Limited Gold Medal for topper in English, instituted by My Home Cement Industries. Riya Reddy, GVNR Bhanumati Memorial Gold Medal for Best All-Round Student, endowed by Girija Damodar Memorial Charitable Trust. Abhijit Sachidananda Murthy, Santosh Kumar Mukherjee Memorial Gold Medal for Best Orator, endowed by Chandranath Mukherjee, Advocate. Ankita Gupta, Venkateshwar Sukruti Setu Gold Medal for topper in taxation, endowed by Pradeep K. Kaitan and Company. Danishta Mittal, Gandra Radhamma and Gandra Raghavendra Rao Memorial Gold Medal for topper in Sociology, endowed by G. Mohan Rao, Senior Advocate, Hyderabad. Thank you, sir. Thank you. I now request Honorable Justice S.S.M. Kadri, former Judge, Supreme Court of India, to award the gold medal to Nikhil R. Chainani, Samya Annapureddy Gold Medal for President of Student Bar Council, endowed by Siddhartha Annapureddy. Nihal Hemant Kumar Bhora, Dinanath Dhanania Gold Medal for topper in Family Law 2, endowed by Savar Dhanania. Thank you, sir. Thank you for giving the medals. I now request Sri Manan Kumar Mishra, Chairman Bar Council of India, to give the gold medals to Tanvi Apte and Dharavat Chandana are sharing the medal. Kunj Bahari Junjunwala Gold Medal for Best Student in Law of Evidence, endowed by R.N. Junjunwala, Kaitan and Company.
What's your name?
Shrikar Echuri and Tathagat Oja, both of them are sharing the gold medal. Agri Gold Estates Gold Medal for Best Student among Boys in Company Law, endowed by Sitaram Avas, Vice Chairman and Managing Director, Agri Gold Estates and Entertainments Limited. Thank you, sir. Thank you for giving the medals. I now request our founder, Vice Chancellor, Professor Ranbir Singh, to award gold medal to Gayatri Gupta and Kanu Gar. Both of them are sharing the gold medal. Balbir Singh Rathi Memorial Gold Medal for topper in legal methods, endowed by Virendra Singh Rathi. Danishta Mittal and Tanvi Apte, both of them are sharing the gold medal. Banda Ishwaramma Memorial Gold Medal for topper in history, endowed by Shivananda Prasad, Advocate General, Telangana High Court. Next. Thank you, sir. Thank you for giving the medal. Now I request our Vice Chancellor, Professor Sri Krishna Dev Rao, to award the Vice Chancellor's Gold Medal for Best Male Graduate with Proven Leadership Qualities instituted by University to Yashwardhan Mittal. And Vice Chancellor's Gold Medal for the Best Woman Graduate with Proven Leadership Qualities instituted by the University to Shetty Rivi Ratnakara. Time for them to come. Karthik Raja, I request the Vice Chancellor to award the Gold Medal for topper in Advanced Diploma in Cyber Laws endowed by Infotrack Systems Private Limited. Thank you, sir. I now request our Chief Guest, Honorable Dr. Justice D.Y. Chandrachud, Chief Justice of India, to award the Nalsar's Excellence in Research Award to the faculty members for their exemplary research work for the year 2022. Dr. Sudhanshu Kumar. Rajesh Kapoor. Uma Maheshwari Shimirala. Akanksha Singh. Mahendra Kumar Shukla. Rahul Gandhi Burra. Vivek Pani Gumparti. Vinod Kumar Rajat. Tanveer Kajla. In addition, Pranav Verma, one of our faculty member, is receiving the award in absentia. I request the Honorable Chief Justice of India to award the certificate of appreciation to our team for being adjudged as world champions at ICC International Commercial Mediation Competition held at Paris. Shravani Shinde, Swati Reshmita, Mehreen Mandar, Arjun Nair. Mehreen Mandar and Arjun Nair will be receiving it in absentia. Thank you, sir. I request our honorable guests to kindly accept our Silver Jubilee memento. And I also request our honorable guests to release Nalsar publications. Nalsar Law Review Volume 8, 2023 is being released by Honorable Dr. Justice D.Y. Chandrachud, Chief Justice of India. Nalsar Student Law Review, Volume 15, is being released by Honorable Sri Justice V. Ramasubramanian, Judge, Supreme Court of India. Indian Journal of Constitutional Law, Volume 10, is being released by Honorable Sri Justice P.S. Narasimha. Legal Aid newsletter titled Nalsar Pro Bono Club, released by Honorable Sri Justice Ujjal Bhuyan. Indian Journal of Intellectual Property Law, Volume 12, is being released by Manan Kumar Mishra, Bar Council of India Chairman. Outside X Magazine, 5th edition, is being released by Sri Justice S.S.N. Khadri, former Judge, Supreme Court of India. Nalsarites 2022 is being released by Vice Chancellor Professor Sri Krishna Dev Rao. Phenomenal, 1st edition of Nal Street Trading Club is being released by Professor Ranbir Singh, Founder Vice Chancellor, Nalsar.
Honorable Chancellor, sir, I request you to dissolve the convocation.
I dissolve the convocation.
Please stand for the national anthem.
Please allow the procession to move out first. Kindly wait for them. And once the procession leaves the hall, then please proceed in an orderly fashion. Kindly allow the justices of the High Court of Telangana to first leave the hall. After that, the programs, one by one.
Yes.
please wait for the justices of the High Court to also leave, and then after that the programs, one by one. Please do this in an orderly way. For the meals, the VIPs are invited to the new dining hall, which is on the left of the ATM, and for graduating students, parents, and current students, to the right of the ATM. We have student volunteers who will help you show the way, but please do this in an orderly way. Please allow the justices to leave the hall first. Right. Once the justices are departing, I would request you to go program-wise for the ceremonial photograph outside the hall. But please do it program-wise. After that, you have enough time to take informal photographs.
Samriddhi. Call Pranam. You come here, you call Pranam. Call Pranam.
Black bag. అది నేమ్ నేమ్ తీసుకుంటే అందరూ తీసుకెళ్ళి ఎక్సెప్ట్ కాపీ తీసుకెళ్ళి ఒక 3-4 మెంబర్స్ 2 బ్యాగ్స్ పెట్టుకెళ్ళి లైబ్రరీ దగ్గర డీలైబ్రరీ దగ్గర వాళ్ళ కన్సర్న్ దగ్గర వాళ్ళకి అప్పు చెప్తాను కంపెనీ కదా సరే నేను ఇస్తాను